to Hawick Common Riding Friday virtual concert for 2021. I'm Caroline Wilkinson and I'm your host today. Unfortunately, we had to cancel our Common Riding yet again due to pandemic, but hopefully next year in 2022 we will be back to some normality and we can meet again on the Western Heather. I hope you've all had a great day and have had a great time reminiscing. I've been picnicking with friends and family with our own Common Riding in the garden, with a few cheeky wee Proseccos and a sing-song. So without further ado, I can ask Michael Aitken, our official song singer, to open with the Border Queen.
Where slatrig dances down the glen to join the deviate waters, there dwells old Hawick's honest men and Hawick's bright-eyed daughters, and we'll loo the gid old dun ilka nook three and she aye has kept the cause of Crun and ever independent. What though our lads are wild away and ill to keep in order, man, the dun she bears the gree, Hawick's queen o'er the border. Both forest trees let gallop brag, we care na what belang them, the henetiri odden flag, there's no mote among them, the Hawick Common pasture spits, they've neither grant nor charters, a sore plum tree, a fox that sits upon its end are quarters. What though our lads are wild away and ill to keep in order, man, the dun she bears the gree, Hawick's queen o'er the border. Unfold the teary odden flag to kiss the breeze o' summer, and list again the inspiring strain, led on by what the drummer, the halberdiers with batons clear, like sunbeams brightly glancing, the cornet and his merry men on metal steeds are prancing. What though our lads are wild away and ill to keep in order, man, the dun she bears the gree, Hawick's queen o'er the border. Then let the bralad come the morn, and Ilkian bring his dearie. They'll wish that they had ne'er been born, or else been born a teary. Then up we Hawick 3 times 3, the lun that when a chorus may hang upon a sore plum tree, asleep in Ettrick forest. What though our lads are wild away and ill to keep in order, man, the dun she bears the gree, Hawick's queen o'er the border.
Thank you, Michael. That was great. I hope you were all singing along. Our next singer comes to us and is no stranger to performing on the stage. As a member of Act 1 and the HOAS Musical Theatre Company, Louisa Goldie will be singing a song from 1514 the musical, a song that was written by Ian Landels.
Every year in June, in a rain autumn, dearest thoughts can tune to Horan's Hall. There the deed was done by brave Collins yon, glorious victory won down at Horan's Hall. Each June, that is why we've raised the standard high, ne'er let the memories die of Horan's Hall. Celebrate the fame of the boys who came, bringing her banner hame back from Horan's Hall. After's flooding's woe, Hawick folk really low learned the English foe were camped at Horan's Hall. Then her young and brave, in a fearless wave, rode her tune to save, tune to Horan's Hall. Each June, that is why we raise the standard high, ne'er let the memories die of Horan's Hall. Celebrate the fame of the boys who came, bringing her banner hame back from Horan's Hall. Mothers quiet cried, sisters terrified, waited with devious sight for news from Horan's Hall. Sudden on their ear, heard a distant cheer, saw the flag appear, won at Horan's Hall. Each June, that is why we raise the standard high, ne'er let the memories die of Horan's Hall. Celebrate the fame of the boys who came, bringing her banner hame back from Horan's Hall. Stench their fathers slain, ease their mother's pain, Hawick could rise again after Horan's Hall. And their spirit still lives on in Tiviadale, and it always will, thanks to Horan's Hall.
Thank you, Louisa. I hope you all enjoyed that. Our next performer is another young'un, Ewan Welsh, a great Burns enthusiast, and has performed at the School Burns Association competitions held here in the Border Club. Also a previous member of Act 1, he has become a board member for developing the young workforce and recently became the youngest member of the Community Council. So a real ambassador for the town. So Ewan Welsh is here with Hawick Common Riding.
Hark again the stirring strains. Rouse ye tearies from your slumbers. Gladly greet the dear refrain. Join the song and swell the numbers. Brightest day o' all the year, Monta Collins, ever dear. Wend your way this glorious day. Kindly customs ne'er be scorning. Old and young, sae blithe and gay, O man hae their sneesh this morning. Grand old cricket, sneeshin' horn, worthy sic a glorious morn. Now, all is right, the day is bright. Forget we our toil and slaving, for sin we mun climb the vertish height, to watch the honoured emblem waving. Whilst, here they come, is heard the cry, the cornets first, the bairns reply. Sin, rich and pair, man, seek the mare, to prescience mere the wester heather, to breathe the air so fresh and pure, and crack o' auld lang syne together, and whiles with friends fra o'er the main, and memories to rejoice again. The racing din we rise again, and dander homeward through the planting, to join once more the dear refrain, our hearts and voice shall ne'er be wanting. O Tiribus, thy magic spell, our sons shall own where'er they dwell. It's no in steeds, it's no in speeds, it's something in the heart abiding, the kindly customs, words and deeds, it's these that make the common riding. So rally Tieries, yen and awe, let this year be the best o' all.
Cheers, Ewan. Our next performer needs no introduction. Another past member of Hawick Musical Theatre Company before going to London to study music and work at the Royal Opera House as a chorister. Elliot Goldie is usually home for the common riding. You hear him before you see him. He's usually up Hawickmere visiting all the cars, singing for his supper or the odd wee refreshment. Hopefully next year we will get to see him. So without further ado, I'll ask Elliot Goldie to sing The Banner Blue by John Ingalls.
deeds of truer might. I forward in the honoured front of science, peace, and art. Be ever proud to bear a brand is blazoned on each head. Be ever proud to bear a brand is blazoned on each head. Then honour to the gallant few who fought and suffered loss, yet gave to us our banner blue, which bears the golden cross. Yet gave to us our banner blue, which bears the golden cross.
Thank you, Elliot. It was just superb. Our next performer is ex-cornet Philip Murray. Philip was cornet in 1972. Philip married his lass, Ruth Crosby, and have farmed at the family home at Branksome Braes. He's also a life member of the Common Riding Committee. Philip and Ruth will be looking forward to celebrating 50 years next year in 2022. Philip will now recite The Border Burn by James Brown.
Ah, Tom, gie me a border burn that canna rin without a turn, and wi' its bonny babble fills the glens among our native hills. How men that yence have kenned aboot it can live their after lives without it, I canna tell. For day and nicht it comes on Codford in a sect. A sight this moment, plain as day, as it comes bickering o'er the brae, atween the clumps of purple heather, glistening in the simmer weather. Sin diving in a blow the grun, where hidden frae the sicht and sun, it gibbers like a dead man's ghost, as it clamours for that licht it's lost. Till out again, the loup and limmer comes dancing down through shine and shimmer, at headlong pacer wi' a jaw, it jumps the rocky waterfall, and cuts sick cantrips in the air, a picter painter man's despair. Around Tribus, out o'er the topwood, a glassy pool to cap the lapwood, while on the brink the blue harebell keeks out to see its bonny sail, and sitting chirping o'is lane, a witter waggy on a stain. Ah, painter lad, thraw to the wind your canvas, this is holy grand. Wi' a' its highest earth achieving, that picture 'tis deed, but this is leaving. That meeting pool to me was dear, a mind its waters deep and clear, I fished it often as a callant, wi' muckle zeal and little talent. The native floors, the old world stories, the lyric loves, the border furies, its whispering eddies, ins and outs, spak ever mair to me than truths. Fair water, fairer though it be, clad in your deathless minstrelsy, and though your song shall never wane, it has a beauty o' its ain. I see its banks, I hear its voices, as wandering onward it rejoices, and though its music's fair frae me, and though I ken it canna be, a tear my in that moment blends, for I hear the linties in the whins, where Attrick rins.
Thank you, Philip. This was filmed up at Branksome Breeze. Moving on to our next performer is ex-acting father Malcolm Grant. Malcolm was acting father to Jamie Richardson in 2009 and is no stranger to performing at various dinners during the Common Riding. He has kindly given up his time to perform I Like Old Hawick by Frank Hogg for us this evening.
They ask old Hawick to leave you and wonder why I stay midst factory smoke and ceaseless din of the looms both night and day. But I like old Hawick and her folks alike, her men and maidens free. Sweet memories dwell in that good old tune that's aye been kind to me. They tell me no beauties around us, that the hills are bare and plain, that the lingering Teviot is silent and sad, and the slitrigs I fill in with rain. But I like old Hawick and her streams I like, where oft at eventide a tale of youthful love is told a doon sweet Teviot side. They know not the spirit that leads you afore in the world's great strife, 'gainst tyrants and wrong, for freedom and right, and the upward struggle o' life. But I like old Hawick and her spirit I like, that leaps still forth to the van, for liberty, progress in thought, and art and goodwill to every man. And when old Hawick I leave you, be my wish when far away, as the Teviot flows to the northern shores, you may ply at my loom as today. For I like old Hawick and her folks alike, her men and maidens free. Sweet memories dwell in that good old tune that's aye been kind to me.
Thank you, Malcolm. To toast the Common Riding, we have a great rugby enthusiastic, Ian Andrew Barnes, affectionately known to many as Barney. Born in Hawick, educated at Burnfit, then Hawick High, then went to Edinburgh Uni to study law. Barney played for the PSA, the Lindeen, Hawick, the South and Scotland. He captained the Greens in 1977. He got 7 caps. He toured New Zealand in 1975 and played a test match against the mighty All Blacks. Barney retired from rugby at the early age of 29 due to injury. Barney has lived most of his life in Edinburgh, but he has never lost his feelings or his love for Hawick. He comes back to Hawick once a week to visit his mother. He followed Cornet Caswell Emery in 1966 and likes nothing better than catching up with his pals, whether it be at the Hut or the Mayor. Ian Barnes.
What do I like about the Common Riding? I like the drums and fifes coming down the new road after the muspel ride out. I like the smell of the horses. I like the roar that guns up when the cornet comes into the hut after the Thursday night chase. I like the drums and fifes at the colour bussing. I like seeing the cornet tying the ribbon to the horse. I like the Thursday morning hut. There's an informality to the Thursday morning hut, and in that informality Hawick bears its soul. It's Hawick in the raw, better felt than telt. It's what we're about. Absolute pride in our heritage, community of spirit, unity of purpose. It's tribalism in the raw, no outsiders, no plastic Hawick men. The devil hasn't got all the best songs, we've got them, and we've got the best singers as well. And the Hat, it's a theatre of dreams, where the likes of Ronnie Tate, Henry Douglas, Chugger, Elliot Goldie, Michael Aitken, the salute, the genius that was Jed Murray, Adam Grant, James Thompson, Tom Kerr. It's a pantheon to the great Hat singers of the past. The Jock Pedens, Billy Cavers, Jock Edgar, Jim Hill, and of course Viv, Addie Ingles playing the piano. Now, at Viv's funeral, Ian Landell said that they could talk about Pavarotti at the La Scala, they could talk about Sinatra at Carnegie Hall, but the generation of Hawick men, Viv Sharp singing a lick called Hawick the Best in the Thursday Morning Hat was a transcendental experience. Nat King Cole might have heard a nightingale sing in Berkeley Square, but when Viv got up to sing in the Thursday Morning Hat, you could have heard a dog barking the Welligate. It's 1,500 of the chosen people sat transfixed by his every word. Viv was a huge, huge miss. And the year after he died, I was sitting in the Hat with Terence, and I said to him, you can, it's no good without Viv. You can, maybe we should make an exception to this men-only rule for as long as it takes Joyce Tinlin to sing the fairest spot ah. Now Terence is slightly to the right of Genghis Khan as far as the common riding was concerned, so I was expecting, you know, his Vesuvius moments. But no, he sat, he thought about it, and he shook his head. And this is absolutely true. He says, well, maybe she could stick her head through the window. And presumably then she would go home to wash to make the sandwiches. I like the walk over the Verty Hill after the Thursday Morning Hat. As David Hill said, there's higher hills aye, but where will we get a bonnier view of the border? Spectacular doesn't describe it. See the Dunyan Grey mark the Eildon's rise, like sentinel watchtowers to greet the skies. I like to get down to Viv Sate at the top of the Lone in time to hear Ronnie, Henry, Terence, Alan Bryden sing a lick called Hawick the Best as the cornet rides past. And then a few quiet cans, feasting on the view of the town below. Memories of common riding's past, scampering up the mare on chase night. Rosebank Road seemed like burned fit with palm trees. Jimmy Anderson first up at Gordiana, blowing his whistle and the stampede after him. Queuing for the bus to the Mare in Alice Crescent, picnics on the hill, bows and arrows. Silver Coin, Golden Wonder, the Wyoming Handicap, Pimpo and Mischief. The shows, the Dodgems, the Ben Hur, coconuts, goldfish. Jumping out the ghost train and chasing the ghosts, or getting chased by the ghosts. Hell, some nights there could be a dozen in there. But as youth gives way to manhood, your perceptions change, or they mature, or at least they're supposed to. And after the Friday Morning Hat, I like to get out here in time to see the cavalcade come round Acre now, across the damp moss to cut the sod. Well, riding the meaths and marshes of Hawick is maybe now just symbolic, but at one time it was a very serious business, a very serious business. Hawick is ever independent. Hawick's only independent because it's common land, and that common land had to be defended physically and legally against the spoil of River Moor. And it was. Right up to 1784, the cornet and his followers carried pistols and cutlasses to sort out casual encroachers. And in the 1790s, the Baileys fought the Duke of Buccleuch's land grab tooth and nail through the Court of Session to look after the town's interests. Our forebears fought for what was theirs and they kept it, and in the 19th century they used the revenue that it generated to fund the civic developments that drove Hawick into the modern age and laid the foundations for the very special town we've got today. Now, while I laugh about the pale marks no having a sewerage system until 1915. No, it wasn't that they were particularly dirty people. It was just they didn't have the resources that we had. They'd neither grant nor charters. All they had was a sewer plume tree and a fox that sat upon its hinder quarters. Now on the Friday morning, the acting fither carries the flag to the cutting of the sword up to the Mayor gates, and you can feel the pride as he rides past here. And you sort of think that when we were kids, the common riding was all about a man on a horse with a flag. But when you see it now, when that horse and that man's away, the flag will still be here. Cornets come and go, but the common riding goes on forever. After it's finished here, I like to get drunk on the mare, and I'm good at it. Sunnier the better. Skelf Hill, great mare. Caldcleuch tucked in behind, Ruber's Law away to the left. The Manor Hills, Broad Law behind ye. Breathes there a man with soul so dead that never to himself has said, this is my ain, my native land. No an Hawick mare on the Friday of the common riding there's no. Now Bobby Froud's 70 today, and I wish him all the best. And I also want to retell a great story he tells about when him and Terence were boys getting drunk in the mare, being back in the house, getting a real dressing room to their mother, Rena, for being drunk in the mare. And just then, Henry's lemonade lorry drew up at the window, and Cecil was lying in the back drunk. So it's I been. I would like to have been to the ball, but I never have. I've had tickets a couple of times, but I've never made it, which is maybe why my wife doesn't come to the common riding anymore. Cassie is making it now, but I would have to say that signing the cornet, singing at the top of the moat at daybreak, has to be still on my bucket list. Saturday morning, up the park, the clatter of hooves up the avenue, the jangle of the horse's tack. And when the cornet comes out the trees in the green coat with a flag, it's almost surreal. He stands in his stirrups and sings Tiribas, the hair in the back of your neck stands on end. And on to the War Memorial, the dark days, 1942. Again the festive date comes round, but not the festive day. Nae cheerful smile, nae joyful sound, the callants are away. And many of them did not come back. But who survived it? After 6 hard years, the common riding stormed back with Charlie Bell in 1946, and that was important. The 3 traditional pillars of Hawick society was the hosiery, the rugby and the common riding. Globalisation has hurt the hosiery bad. Professionalism hit Hawick rugby hard. But as we've seen this year, the common riding is still strong. Its relevance, its importance enhanced in these tough times. It's a celebration of all that's good in really an old tune. It reasserts our values, it encourages our optimism. It's the emotional backstop against us ever becoming just another suburb of Sainsbury's or a feeder club for Melrose. As William Landell said, probably the finest stanza ever written in the Hawick language. There's no place like our ain tune, the music truth to tell. The drums and fifes so early, and the jowl of St Mary's bell. So, safe out, safe in. Let's look after ourselves, and hopefully, this time next year, we'll all be out here in the Wester Heather, enjoying Common Riding 2022.
Thank you, Ian. Lots of great memories there. To start the second half off, we have the amazing Christy Anderson, another one who is no stranger to performing on the stage in school shows, pantomime, and of course the opera, where she played the part of Bet in Oliver. Tonight she will be singing the song by Alan Bryden, The Bonnie Banner Blue.
As the morning sun crests rumor lotted on the breaking day, farthest away. There's an echo frae the past o' bonny Tavia tale, o' lover cherished dear, and it's carried outward her borderland each common riding year. It's royal blue with gold running through, the pride o' Callan say gallant and true, every honest teary heir to ever loyal to the bonny banner blue. As the fall of flood in Egelrun twae mony a widow's wail, when the raiders came her Callan stood in defence o' Tavia Dale. They were only local laddies held frae Flodden's field, a townsfolk to defend, and with stout hearts they captured the flag and rode back hame as men. It's royal blue with gold running through, the pride o' Callan say gallant and true, every honest teary heir to ever loyal to the bonny banner blue. At the formal colour buzzing by a bonny cornet's lass, all eyes are on her cornet as the provost states the task. Her ancient ploughing glorious defence so high, her Callans bravely gained, lifted high with pride and returned to me unsullied and unstained. It's royal blue with gold running through, the pride o' Callan say gallant and true, every honest teary heir to ever loyal to the bonny banner blue. Our cornet rides with border bright, to mark her common clear, as he carries every teary heart he is lifted by their cheers. Our ancient fine traditions he has soonly held, our customs to the fore, as he lifts Hawick's famous banner independence evermore. It's royal blue with gold running through, the pride o' Callan say gallant and true, every honest teary heir to ever loyal to the bonny banner blue, every honest teary heir to ever loyal to the bonny banner blue.
Thank you, Christy. That was fab. Our next performer is Lauren Rennick. Lauren works in Bannerman and Burke. She spends her spare time writing music and singing. Tonight, Lauren is performing a poem by Robert Craig. She felt this poem needed music, so without further ado, I can give you Lauren Rennick.
Was it a sigh of yesterday, or an echo of long ago? The dream of an idle moment, or a real thing pictured so? I thought that I was somewhere in the heart of that elder world, where stubborn men were gathered with their battle flags unfurled. I could see their pennons floating on Murrah and Moss and Glen, and I saw the legions march
gallant hearts who followed, and a king himself who led from Carterfell to Cheviot to Lone St. Mary's Lake. They were failed not at the summons, who knew the black mistake. Then they rode away to the eastward, and the land was still as night, and never a man that faltered, and never a thought of flight. Then I seemed to lie in the silence, in the grip of an anguished throb. Not a cry, not a sound of wailing, but a deep drawn, stifled sob. Then the sun went out in crimson till it made the streams run red. I knew I had stayed from flooding, and I wished that I were dead.
There's a tun by hills surrounded, stands by bonny Teviot side, famous lang and border story, we recall her feats with pride, as her sons were ever foremost in the foray and the fray. Ever foremost you will find them in life's peaceful strife today. And up we all take, all the borders she's queen. Let fraternity reign, ilka theory between. For lads, lil and true, and lassies, braw and fair, there's nae tune among them a we old tune compare. We've a flag won by the valour of our fearless sires of yore. We've a common, we'll defend it from the spoiler evermore. We've a moat which down the ages witnessed many a deed of fame, when it might like suns arising drove in vision back again. And up we all take, all the borders she's queen. Let fraternity reign, ilka theory between. For lads, lil and true, and lassies, braw and fair, there's nae tune among them a we old tune compare. Shout aloud the grand old slogan, spread the banner to the gale, and as year to year is added, let them tell proud freedom's tale. And as youth gives place to manhood, and old age each life steals on, may each teary be a calling in his heart forevermore. And up we all take, all the borders she's queen. Let fraternity reign, ilka theory between. For lads, lil and true, and lassies, braw and fair, nae tune among them Macawi or tune compare. Make the merry drums to rattle, let the fifes scream shrill and clear. Sweeter than Apollo's numbers is the music to my ears. East and west unite their greetings, as in soft June zephyr born. Absentee's thoughts fly homeward on each common riding morn. And up way I'll take all the borders she's queen. Let fraternity reign, Hilcatiri between. Foul lads, lil and true, and lassies braw and fair. There's nae tune among them Macawi or tune compare.
I hope you all enjoyed that and sang along with Jamie. Thanks, Jamie, that was great. That brings us to the end of our wee concert. I hope you all enjoyed it. So here's to next year, when hopefully we'll all be back with some normality and we can meet again to celebrate our common riding with friends and family. So without further ado, I'd like to call on Michael Aitken, the official song singer, to finish off with Teary Bus.
Scotia fell ein Iro hodden on the bloody fields of Flodden, where our fathers fell with honour round the king and country's banner. Teary Bussy, teary Orden, sons of heroes slain at Flodden, imitating border bowmen, I defend your rights uncommon. After Flodden was decided, Surrey had his troops divided. When he turned them loose to plunder, heaven just why slept like thunder. Teary Bussy, teary Orden, sons of heroes slain at Flodden, imitating border bowmen, I defend your rights uncommon. Hawick they left in the ruins lying, naught was heard but widows crying, labour of all kinds neglected, orphans wandering unprotected. Teary Bussy, teary Orden, sons of heroes slain at Flodden, imitating border bowmen, I defend your rights uncommon. All were sunk in deep dejection, none to flee to for protection, till some youths who strayed from Flodden rallied up by Teary Orden. Teary Bussy, teary Orden, sons of heroes slain at Flodden, imitating border bowmen, I defend your rights uncommon. Armed with sword and bow and quiver, shouting vengeance now or never, off they marched in martial order, down by Teviot's flowery border. Teary Bussy, teary Orden, sons of heroes slain at Flodden, imitating border bowmen, I defend your rights uncommon. Down they threw their bows and arrows, drew their swords like veteran heroes, charged the foe with native valour, routed them and took their colour. Teary Bussy, teary Orden, sons of heroes slain at Flodden, imitating border bowmen, I defend your rights uncommon. Now with spoil and honour laden, well revenged for fatal Flodden, home they marched, their flag displaying, Teary Bus before them playing. Teary Bussy, teary Orden, sons of heroes slain at Flodden, imitating border bowmen, I defend your rights uncommon. High the trump of fame did raise them, poets of all times did praise them, sung their feats in Merlin ballads. Scotia's boast was Hawick's gallants. Deary Bussy, deary Auden, sons of heroes slain at Flodden, imitating border bowmen, I defend your rights uncommon. 'Twas then Drumlanrig's generous donor gave immortal be his honour. What might soothe Hawick's dire disaster? Land for tillage, peats and pasture. Deary Bussy, deary Auden, sons of heroes slain at Flodden, imitating border bowmen, I defend your rights uncommon. Thus we boast a mare and colour, won by deeds of hardy valour, won in fields where victories swithered, won when Scotia's laurels withered. Deary Bussy, deary Auden, sons of heroes slain at Flodden, imitating border bowmen, I defend your rights uncommon. Annual censer flags been carried, round the mare by men unmarried, emblem grand of those who won it, matrimonial hands would stain it. Deary Bussy, deary Auden, sons of heroes slain at Flodden, imitating border bowmen, I defend your rights uncommon. Magistrates, be faithful trustees, equal poise the scales o' justice. See your common rightly guided, quirky lairds nae mair divided. Deary Bussy, deary Auden, sons of heroes slain at Flodden, imitating border bowmen, I defend your rights uncommon. Hawick shall triumph amid destruction, was the Druid's dark prediction. Strange the issues that unrolled it, centuries after they'd foretold it. Deary Bussy, deary Auden, sons of heroes slain at Flodden, imitating border bowmen, I defend your rights uncommon. Peace be thy portion, Hawick, forever, thine arts, thy commerce flourish ever. Down to the latest age descended, Hawick was ever independent, Hawick was ever independent, Hawick was ever independent. Down to the latest age descended, Hawick was ever independent. Hep hep! Hey! Hep hep! Hey! Hep hep! Hey!